What is poppin' YouTube? Back again with another video. Tonight we are dropping our video for the running back rankings for week 4. We're super excited. A lot of injuries in the running back landscape. But before we dive into it, let's hit that intro. And what are you doing? If you haven't already been a part of this channel, subscribe, become a part of the family. I appreciate you guys so much. It helps me out a ton with the algorithm. Give me a like as well if you like the content. But we are diving into our running back rankings. So let us do our tier list here like we kind of been doing the last 2 weeks. Of course, number 1 this week is going to be Saquon Barkley. Now, I've been trying to keep these videos. They've been going a little bit long. So we're going to try to keep this in about 10 minutes. So Saquon Barkley's playing the Bears. Fantasy Pros has the Bears defense as the 12th projected ranked defense this week. Saquon Barkley, he's been getting a lot of the workload. Right now, he is like the RB2 or RB3 right now in fantasy. No reason to have – I have Saquon almost as my RB1 for the rest of the season. We absolutely love the work he is getting. My RB2 this week is going to be Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry is playing against the Colts. The Colts are the 18th best ranked defense according to Fantasy Pros. Derrick Henry got some of the receiving work, got a touchdown. So we are excited last week. So we're excited again for Derrick Henry's workload this week. My RB3 is going to be Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb, he is the RB1 right now in fantasy football for good reason. He's playing this week against the Falcons, which are the 30th ranked defense. So Nick Chubb is going to have every little bit of opportunity here, and I am going to zoom in so we can see this a little bit better. So we got Nick Chubb also in our tiers. My RB4 is going to be Jonathan Taylor. Now, a lot of people are going to ask, why is Jonathan Taylor so below? He was the RB1. Yes, he was the RB1, but coming into this week, he is my RB4 going against the Titans. They're the 22nd ranked defense according to Fantasy Pros. Wow, look at us. 2 minutes in, and we've already gotten through 4 of my running backs. My RB5 for this week is CMC, a big disappointment. I was in on the CMC 101. Maybe that was a mistake, but I still think there's a lot of opportunity. I still have him here in my 1 tier. They're going against the Cardinals. The Panthers are going against the Cardinals, which are ranked the 20th ranked defense projected this week according to Fantasy Pros. So do like me some CMC. Hopefully we get the work. We see he's been getting the usage. Now will the stats back it up, the fantasy stats? I do not know. Now, our next player, I'm going to have to grab. It's not DeAndre Swift. DeAndre Swift's going to be out. So it's going to be Jamal Williams. Now, I know the picture. If you came in because you thought I was going to talk about DeAndre Swift, so sorry. It's about Jamal Williams. So Jamal Williams will be in my 2nd tier. They are playing the Seattle defense, which right now is like the worst defense in the league. And Seattle this week is projected 32nd according to Fantasy Pros. So I think Jamal Williams, we saw the usage he got last week, even when he was splitting touches with DeAndre Swift, if he gets most of those touches. Now, granted, I do hear you on the Greg Reynolds if you are arguing that, but Jamal Williams is my RB6 for this week. I do love the man, do love the talent. My RB7 is going to be Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara was such a great value. Can I even find Alvin Kamara? Must be missing him. Oh, here he is. Here he is. He hasn't produced amazingly yet for fantasy, but we're starting to see the Saints offense. The Saints offense has been really abysmal. This week, they are going up against Minnesota, which has the 13th ranked best defense, according to Fantasy Pros for this week. So we're just going to bank on the talent of Alvin Kamara. We're going to bank on the fact that some of these guys behind him haven't proven exactly all that Alvin Kamara has proven, but we're basing this on the matchup. And so that's why I'm going with Alvin Kamara. I like the matchup against Minnesota, especially the fact that Minnesota might be without Dalvin Cook. And so what is that going to look like for their offense? Will Alexander Mattison step up? I like Alvin Kamara this week for sure. My RB8 is going to be Khalil Herbert. He was my number 1 pickup this week. I know I'm picking the thing of David Montgomery, but sorry, don't have the image of Khalil Herbert. The Bears are going up against the Giants, which are the 8th ranked team this week according to Fantasy Pros. We saw what Khalil Herbert could do with a full workload. We did see what he could do with a full workload last season. So we are banking on Khalil Herbert this week. Roll him in the lineup. Yes, he is going above for some guys that are way more talented than he is. I just think the opportunity presents itself. My RB9 for this week is going to be Austin Eckler. Now, it was close. Was it a little bit bold to put Khalil Herbert over Austin Eckler? Maybe. Austin Eckler, his floor is very safe. We just haven't seen that elite level touchdown upside and usage. They're going up against the Texans, though, so this is a get-right game for Austin Eckler. The Texans are the 31st ranked defense according to Fantasy Pros going into this week. So I have Austin Eckler as number 9. Najee Harris at number 10. We're going to just keep Going on, Najee Harris against the New York Jets. The New York Jets are the 21st ranked defense according to Fantasy Pros heading in this week. Najee Harris will get a lot more of the volume. He hasn't been getting the volume that he got last year. Najee Harris, super talented running back, but is he all volume? Was last year's stats based on volume? I don't know, but we're hoping that he can continue. I saw him as my RB10 for this week. My RB11 is going to be Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones also gets in the second tier. I do like some Aaron Jones. He's not ahead of Najee. He's right there. Aaron Jones is playing New England Patriots. They're the 20th ranked defense according to Fantasy Pros. We don't need to really hash Aaron Jones, talented guy. My 12th ranked running back is going to be playoff Lenny, overweight Lenny, man on a mission Lenny, not number 28 Lenny. He's number 7. Lenny is going up against the Kansas City Chiefs, 25th ranked defense. Now, we don't know where they're playing because of this whole hurricane business, but excited for Lenny again this week. My RB13 is going to be James Robinson. I think I got to put a picture of was James Robinson here? I keep missing the running backs as I'm quickly talking and looking. Anyone see James Robinson? I'm only here by myself. Okay, I do not see James Robinson. So I don't see anyone from the Jags, actually, to be completely honest. So James Robinson is the one. Oh, Travis Etienne's here. This is James Robinson. James Robinson, even though I wish it was Travis Etienne. James Robinson is my RB13 versus the Eagles, 6th ranked XD. We're just hoping that he's going to get the same workload. James Robinson, RB13. My RB14 is going to be Joe Mixon. We don't know the health, so like him and Dalvin Cook are kind of up in air for this week. But Joe Mixon was my RB4 preseason. Nothing. The usage, I talked about buying low on him earlier in a video this week. Don't need to rehash that. So if you want to go back and watch that video, would greatly appreciate it. But Joe Mixon is my RB14. My RB15 is going to be either Dalvin Cook or Alexander Mattison. Both. I consider both. Just based on the workload, based on the matchup versus the Saints, which are the 11th ranked best defense. They love to run the ball there for the Minnesota Vikings. So feeling good. Dalvin Cook, if he was fully healthy, would of course be a little bit higher in my rankings. We don't know about that. And then we also don't know if Alexander Mattison gets the full workload. He's not as talented as Dalvin Cook, even though he has put up amazing production when he has had the full workload. My RB16 is going to be Javonte Williams. Javonte Williams is playing the Raiders. The Broncos are playing the Raiders, which are the 29th ranked defense this week. So the Raiders have been giving up a lot of points. Javonte Williams only had a 45% snap share, though, last week. So we're a little bit worried about that. But if Javonte Williams can get somewhere in that 55 to 60% snap share, we're going to feel really good about his usage. And hopefully they can finally get the offense rolling there for the Denver Broncos. My RB17 is going to be James Conner. James Conner is going to be in my 4th tier here this week, playing against the Panthers. So the Panthers do have the 19th best ranked defense, which is kind of a surprise. They're going up against Baker, and we're just hoping for some touchdowns. Kyler Murray's kind of been off his game here recently. And I think if the offense gets a little bit more efficient, a little bit more red zone opportunities there for James Conner, we will be looking a little bit more happy here in the coming weeks. My RB18 is going to be Cordale Patterson. Cordale Patterson for the Falcons. How can a 31-year-old running back continue to do what this man has done? Super impressive. Playing against the Browns, 9th ranked defense, but they are using Cordale Patterson all over the field. So we are banking on Cordale Patterson this week as our RB18. My RB19 is going to be Cam Akers. So hopefully some of this is helping you determine who am I starting as my RB2. Those are some questions that you're probably having right about now. Cam Akers is playing the 49ers, 4th ranked D. Why do I have Cam Akers over Darrell Henderson? There's just been a lot of talk about Cam Akers. They're going to try to get him more involved. His snap share has gone up every week after that abysmal week 1. So Cam Akers right there. We're playing an upside pick. I like the way that he's looked, not the usage. So let's just clear that up. So we're hoping Cam Akers can get back on track this week against the 49ers. My 20th ranked running back is going to be Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs last week was a little bit sick coming into the game, but he still played. But this week he's going against the Broncos, 16th ranked best defense. Like we said, what is this going to game to look like? If this is the 49ers Broncos game that we saw last week where it was just a lot of running, then things do look good for Josh Jacobs. My RB21 is going to be Kareem Hunt. So I realize that I only have one running back for each of the teams. So Kareem Hunt would be right here. Kareem Hunt playing behind Nick Chubb, who's the RB1. They're going to have to run the ball a lot, and Kareem Hunt just shows that he has a role in this offense. So putting Kareem Hunt above Zeke. So Zeke is the next guy on my list, 5th tier. Zeke looks slightly washed, but not absolutely washed. I'm not on the Tony Pollard hype train exactly yet, but Zeke does have on the money playing the Titans, 22nd ranked defense. If the Cowboys are going to get their offense rolling, Cooper Rush, they started to look good at the second half of last week's game against the Giants. I'm excited for Zeke going forward. I do think he could finish as an RB1 just based on his durability, the way that he plays, averages 11 to 12 points a game. I do like me some Kareem Hunt, Josh Jacobs, Cam Akers. I think they have a little bit more upside this week, so that's why I rank them ahead. If you have Zeke ahead of those guys, I'm not going to argue with you. We are just cutting hairs about this point. Damon Pierce is my RB23. So Damon Pierce is going up against the Chargers. Fantasy Pros has them as the 5th ranked best defense. So going to be a very tough matchup there for Damon Pierce. But each and every week, his snaps have gone up. His rushing work, his opportunity share has gone up. So Damon Pierce, he did have preseason hype for a reason, and that is why we were continuing on with putting Damon Pierce as our RB23. And my last and final ranking here is going to be CEH as my RB24. Going up against the Bucs, which have the 14th ranked best defense. I did say heading into this week, according to Fantasy Pros, I will say this one thing about CEH. We do not know where they are playing, so that could play into effect on what's exactly happening. But I will say I'm feeling very confident in CEH, even though his opportunity share hasn't been great. He's been largely dependent on touchdowns. We are still throwing CEH in there until he burns us, which he burned us a lot in the past, but this season he seems to be very consistent. So we are keeping there with CEH. If you stuck around for this whole video, I appreciate you guys so much. Tomorrow we'll be releasing my wide receiver rankings, and we'll go from there. If you haven't already, like and subscribe. It helps me out so much on the channel. We're trying to get to 200 subs. To be completely fair, we're trying to blow up the fantasy football industry. So if you want to be a part of this community, trying to go live every night, answer all your questions. So would love to have you join the community, be a part. And if you already are a part of the community, continue joining the lives, be in there. Appreciate all your guys' support, and I'll catch you there on the flip side.